Any last minute advice?
Don't take Ambien more than 3 nights in a row. If you were suddenly placed in a position of leadership like Ella, which would you fight harder to protect? Family, integrity, courage? Let me know in the comments. Hey, this week, Emma Mackay. Let's see. Hey, welcome back everybody. This week we got to see Emma Mackay, directed by James L. Brooks, starring, and get this, starring Emma Mackay as Ella Mackay. It's an interesting lead there. Also starring Jamie Lee Curtis and Woody Harrelson. So today we are talking about Emma Mackay, a film that mixes heart, humor, and surprisingly an amount of emotional wisdom. And about midway through the movie, there is a lighter family moment that doesn't really move the political story forward. If you need a quick break, that's the safest window. You'll miss a couple of small character moments, but for the most part, not much other than that. Emma Mackay is built on a simple but powerful idea: believe life should be fun, and then actually make it so. The movie keeps nudging you towards that truth. It's about facing your future head on, letting go of the past that you've been holding on to, and choosing joy even when life feels complicated. Ella herself is a fascinating character. Even as a kid, she seemed wiser than her years. One of those people who carries responsibility like it's part of their DNA. She's driven for all the right reasons, serious in a way that becomes unintentionally funny, and she dreams of having a normal family that votes on where they go for vacation. That line alone tells everything about her longing for stability and belonging. When it comes to her and her husband, one of the most funniest moments in the movie is where their intimacy gets labeled as wrongful use of government property. I mean, I'm sure that happens more than we know. But beyond that joke, her husband is the perfect balance to her intensity. He softens the edges without dimming her light. Ella and her aunt, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is the emotional anchor of the film. The relationship shows how essential a close, grounded presence can be, especially for someone who feels the weight of the world. Ellie and her brother Casey both carry anxiety, probably inherited from their dad, Woody. The movie doesn't make a big speech about it, but you can feel the generational patterns humming underneath. First we had Ella and her family, and then we had her husband's family, and of course the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, even on his side. Both families are quirky, anxious, and trying their best. It's messy in a way that feels real. This movie has genuine laugh-out-loud moments. Kamal Nanjiani shows up and just nails his role. Dry, warm, and perfectly timed. But the film turns right around and hits you right in the feels. There are a couple scenes designed to make your eyes sweat, and they do work. In the end, Emma Mackay is about choosing joy, letting go of the past and building a life you actually want. It reminds us that sometimes a sorry comes too late, so say it. And sometimes it's supposed to be fun, so make it. All in all, not my cup of tea, but maybe something you'd like on streaming. You know, the movie reminded me of Micah 6:8, where it says, "He has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you but to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God." Micah 6:8 fits Emma Mackay because the film ultimately is about the kind of leadership that chooses integrity over convenience. Elle is consistently pushed to act justly in a political world that rewards shortcuts, and she must love mercy as she navigates complicated family relationships with compassion instead of defensiveness. Hey, did you know that Emma Mackay was filmed across Rhode Island, including Providence, Pawtucket, Cranston, East Providence, and Bristol? Also, Hans Zimmer composed the score, bringing emotional weight to a political comedy tone. The film marks James L. Brooks' return to directing after 15 years following How Did You Know in 2010. Now you do know. Hey everybody, don't forget about the sneak peeks, the whole reason we show up to the movies on time, which this week, I was a little late, so there was a couple of previews I missed. I'm gonna do something a little bit different and give you a couple of my ones that I'm looking forward to at the end. But first, we got to see The Housemaid coming out December 19th. Send Help, January 30th. Avatar, Fire and Ash, December 19th. Anaconda, December 25th. Marty Supreme, December 25th. And the ones I'm kind of looking forward to, Greenland 2 Migration, coming out January 9th. And a bonus movie, the trailer just popped this week, and that's Supergirl, coming out possibly June 26th. So until next time, let's see.
I don't have a title. I'm your what?
Husband?
That's a hard thing to put on a parking space.